Today, we are going to talk about the iceberg theory of anger. The iceberg is a really powerful metaphor that we can use to explain our anger. As you can see in the picture, about 10% of the iceberg is above water. The other 90% lays below the water line. We only see a small fraction of the iceberg, as most of it is hidden beneath the surface. Well, anger functions very much in a similar way. When we get angry, we show others our angry emotions, behavior, and actions. What others don't see are the deeper core feelings and thoughts hidden below the surface. For those who struggle with their anger, the 10% appears to be the only emotion they know how to feel or are most comfortable expressing. Now, why would this be? Well, strange as it may seem, a lot of people cannot identify their feelings. They never learned about their feelings as children. The second answer to this question is a lot of people are only in tune with the three most basic feelings: anger, happiness, and sadness. But I think if we look more in depth at this question, there's perhaps something more complex going on. I think a lot of people have difficulty sharing their underlying feelings because in doing so, they become more vulnerable. Incidentally, when we look at the iceberg, it is often the 90%, the part of the iceberg under the water, that does the most damage. But let's get back to anger and people. In certain relationships, we sometimes only show the top 10% of our emotions and keep the most important feelings and thoughts hidden below the surface, the other 90%. This is when problems start to build up. Our partners and those close to us end up only seeing the behaviors above the water, and those behaviors can sometimes be destructive and drive them away. What are some of the core feelings that we hide below the surface that are difficult for us to share? Another way of asking this question is, what are the underlying feelings that we keep hidden from others because they are too raw? Well, how about abandonment, shame, embarrassment, fear, worry, rejection, disappointment, sadness, grief, depression, and maybe despair? How about hurt? Have you ever felt so hurt in your marriage that you felt it in your heart and your bones? Well, how do we change this? Well, very simply, the most important action that we can take in these situations is to turn the iceberg upside down and connect with the other 90% of feelings that we are experiencing. In other words, when you feel anger coming on, stop and ask the following questions. What's really going on with me? What am I really feeling? Do I feel hurt, sad, tired? Am I feeling misunderstood? Am I worried, depressed? Am I feeling fear, rejection? Do I feel abandoned? What is it? In essence, you are being invited to stop, pause, reflect, and think. By pausing and reflecting and connecting to our underlying emotions, the other 90% of the iceberg, we develop greater self-awareness and understanding about what we are feeling and experiencing. Better awareness of how we feel can lead to better communication if we are able to share these underlying feelings with someone whom we trust. So, there you have it, the iceberg theory of feelings. So, think of the last time you were angry. What were some of the underlying emotions that led you to feel that way? I'm Veronica Hislop, life relationship coach and counselor, coming to you with Em-Powered Solutions.